What's up, guys? Jack here. Figured I'd do an upload video for all the stuff I pulled during my pre-release over the weekend. I went to pre-release for Amonkhet, and I was able to go on Friday and was able to go on Sunday. So I got two kits. Besides the two kits, I was able to get two of these metallic zombie tokens, which I think are pretty rad. And if I can slide one off the sleeve real quick, I can show you. There you go, see. Oh, I hadn't seen the back yet. Cool. Heavy Metal Magic. That is actually really cool. So yeah, I was able to get this token. I was able to get a second one. It's part of going for a pre-release for both days. And I was able to get this really nice spin down die. And then one of the things you have to do during your pre-release, well, not really, but things you can do along the way, would be some of these trials, 5 trials of the gods, and one of the trials I got a die. I don't know if it's a D3 or D4, I guess you guys can tell me about that. It says 1 on one side, 2 on the other side, and 3 on the other side. So I call it a D3, but I could be wrong. So that's fine. So one of the trials said bring a friend to a magic event or something like that for your first time. So I was able to bring a friend, and I was able to get one die. Sadly, I was recognized on Sunday, so I wasn't able to claim another die since I did go to the same place for pre-release on Sunday. And let's get to it, guys. I'll show you some of the pulls I got. And this is what it is. The Trials of the 5 Gods. I think I did the first one, Trial of Solidarity. Bring a friend to a magic event at your local game store. So that's how I was able to get the die. And it's really pretty, I like it. And it's just like how Amonkhet is ancient Egyptian themed. I like how the die is also Egyptian themed. But let's get to it. I got this guy, Unwavering Initiate. I was able to play him during my pre-release. He came up quite a lot and he was pretty useful. I was also lucky enough to pull one Cartouche of Zeal. So I was able to play that. So you can already tell that these were my 2 colors. And the Cartouche of Zeal came up and it was pretty useful really early game. I also pulled the Gust Walker. When you exert him, which is the new mechanic, which says you announce that you're exerting a creature as it attacks, the following turn your creature does not untap, but at the bonus of getting something really useful, a really powerful effect. Some creatures let you summon back other creatures from the graveyard. Some creatures get +1/+1s and Death Touch. This one particularly gets +1/+1 and flying, so he's pretty good for evasion. I was able to pull a Magma Spray. I think I pulled 2 of them. There we go, yeah, I pulled 2 Magma Sprays. So I was able to play those in my deck. I was able to pick up another Gust Walker after the event, so that was kind of cool. I also pulled a Tormenting Voice. And 2 of the cards that I pulled Full Art Lands. And you see Nicobola's horns in the back. So I was able to pull another one of those. And if I haven't said it before, I'll say it again. I really like the art for Magic, including the lands. I pulled another Unwavering Initiate, and I pulled this one as a foil. And I was able to play this one in the event as well. I picked up a Cartouche of Zeal after the event. And I also pulled on Sunday the Glory Bound Initiate. I really like him. When you exert him as he attacks, he gets a +1/+3, and he's normally at 3/1, so he becomes a 4/4, and he also gains lifelink until end of turn. So that's kind of cool. I also was able to pull one Soul Scar Mage. He's like Monastery Swiftspear from Khans of Tarkir, except that he doesn't have haste, so he's a little bit slower. But he's still at 1/2 for 1 mana with prowess. And if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a creature upon control, you put -1/-1 counters on that creature instead of doing that much damage, which I think is pretty cool. Because if you can't kill a really big creature, then you might as well put -1/-1 counters on it. And I was able to pick up a second one after the event. And then someone was nice enough to give me an emblem for Gideon, only because on Friday when I played on my first pack, the first pack I pulled from my pre-release pack was a Gideon. He was actually the most expensive card I pulled. I like him. He's kind of cool. His -0 effect, his second -0 effect, says that when you get an emblem with, as long as you control a Gideon Planeswalker, you can't lose the game and your opponent can win the game. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then his +1 ability kind of protects him a little bit. Until your next turn, prevent all damage target permanent would deal. And his other 0 ability just makes him 4/4 human with indestructible until end of turn, and he prevents all damage to himself. So I liked him. He's pretty cool. I'm probably going to play him in my standard deck, which is nice. And then some of the other pulls I got was Onward to Victory, which is pretty nice. Onward feels like a trumpet blast, kind of. Target creature gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is its power. It's nice. Victory says target creature gains double strike until end of turn, which is super cool. I was able to get well, I actually got these afterwards. More Gustwalkers, Red Crop Spearmasters. He says that when you exert him, he gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. He's normally a 3/1, but when you exert him, he becomes a 4/1 with first strike. That was kind of cool. I got Evolving Wilds, Trials of Zeals, Flings, Electrifies, Fan Bearer came up a lot too in my sealed deck. Hyena Pack, he was really cool. As well as this one, Nimble Blade Kenra. He's a 1/3, so he can block early stuff, and he had Prowess, Mighty Leap. The Blood Rage Brawler. I also pulled this, I also played it. It is 2 mana for 4/3. And when he enters the battlefield, you just discard a card. And then randomly at a table, I also found this island. I sleeved it up because it looked really cool. I liked it. Like I said, I really like the artwork for Magic. So when I find cards that I like or that are pretty, I'll take them, and I'll just looks so pretty, and I'll just keep them. I also pulled the warrior token. This is also something that came with your pack. An exerted token thing, an embalmed token thing, another exerted token thing, brick counters, because brick counters are a thing with some of the. Did I go through some of the with some of the artifacts? Not particularly this one, I think, but yeah. You also got zombie tokens, more lands, more zombie tokens, and a couple of others. See, this one has brick counters. Luxa River Shrine says for 3 generic mana, 3 of any. It's an artifact that says you can pay 1 mana. You can tap it, and then you gain 1 life, and you put a brick counter on Luxa River Shrine. And then you can tap it as well. You gain 2 life, and you can only activate this ability if you have 3 or more brick counters on this card. So some of these cards are nice. I also pulled these guys, Bloodlust Insiders, more Mighty Leaps, and a couple of other things. I also pulled a Compelling Augment Foil, a Council, and whatnot. Alrighty. So I'm gonna try to see if I can put all of this back inside of this little box, which again, the box looks really nice. It kind of looks like a, maybe not a sarcophagus, but maybe, I don't know, you guys can decide that. It looks like some sort of chest, and it kind of just opens up like that, so that's kind of cool. Let me shove that away in there. And then the promo I got for this one, I already got rid of it, but my promo was an enchantment that cost, I believe, 5 of any and 2 black. And when you casted it, you pretty much enchanted a player, and then that player every turn has to sacrifice something, basically, whether it be a creature, an artifact, planeswalker, something. And then at every upkeep, if that player can't sacrifice something, then they lose 5 life, which is pretty nice. And then I did get to keep this promo, Vizier of Many Faces. He's 2 of any and 2 blue For a 0/0, he's a shapeshifter cleric, and what he does is that he enters the battlefield as a clone, meaning as a copy of any creature in the battlefield. Except that since he has this mechanic called Embalm, 3 of any and 2 blue, meaning you get to exile this card from your graveyard. If it's in your graveyard, you make a copy, an exact duplicate of this card onto the battlefield. But the added bonus is that he becomes a white zombie in addition to its other types, and he has no mana cost. It's kind of nice. It's just another clone, I guess. And again, I got the 5 Trials of the God. You see this is the check mark, so this is the pre-release kit I had on Friday. And then I mixed some of my other stuff in here just to have more space. That's where I had the Gideon, even though I pulled it in this box. I pulled Approach the Second Sun. So I have a funny story about this card. On Friday when I played my first match in game 1, my opponent casted this. It costs 6 mana, 6 of any and 1 white for a sorcery that says if Approach of the Second Sun was cast from your hand and you've casted another spell named Approach of the Second Sun this game, you win the game. Otherwise, you put Approach of the Second Sun into your library 7th from the top and you gain 7 life. So 7 mana to gain 7 life. And then if you cast it a second time, then you pretty much win the game. And what happened with me is my opponent was able to wait out long enough to cast it the first time. He put it 7 from the top, and then as the turns went by, he was able to cycle some cards. Cycling means you discard a card and you pay the mana on the cycle cost. Usually it's 2, it could be 3, it could be one specific mana, and he just kept it, and you would draw him a card. So he kept doing that. And then on my final turn, as a last ditch effort, even though I knew I wasn't going to survive, I casted my Gideon. He had flyers on the board. He was able to swing into my Gideon with his flyers. He casted Approach from the Second Sun since he was able to draw it, and he won the game. A lot of my friends were making fun of me because I had the emblem for Gideon, and I still lost. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's a funny story. And I think Approach from the Second Sun could be good, depending on how you play him, I guess. I also pulled Gift of Paradise, Spring Mind. Is it Spring to Mind or Spring of Mind? I'm not sure. Query Hauler. A lot of people were playing this camel. There's 3 of any and a green for a 4/3 that says when Query Hauler enters the battlefield, for each kind of counter on target permanent, put another counter of that kind or remove one of that kind. So it was kind of cool. A lot of people were playing this and like counter stuff. And he's also 4 mana for a 4/3. And one of my friends kept shouting camel whenever he saw someone play it, so it was kind of cool. And a faction of Ronas, Hooded Brawler, Giant Spider, another Camu, Giant Spider, 6 cents. When I was looking at the spoilers, apparently this was originally a blue card from back in the day, and when he got its reprint with a different name, of course, it just became a green card, but the text is exactly the same. So it's kind of cool having reprints in different colors, I guess. I also pulled this Swamp, Watches from the Dead, and then this is just a couple random cards that I happen to have put in this deck, put in this box. From the last pre-release, I think. Magma Sprays, which are nice. Hyena Packs. I also pulled that guy and Crop Crasher. He is 2 of any and a red for a 3/2 with haste. And when he attacks, if you exert him, you can make it so target creature can block you this turn. So it's nice when it's turn 3, he swings, your opponent has a creature to get in that extra damage. I also pulled the Minotaur Sure Shot. The Sacred Cat is kind of nice. He's a 1/1 with lifelink, and again, then he has Embalm. Like I said earlier, Embalm could be 2 of any color or a specific color. This one specifically was 1 white, and then you just exile the cat from your graveyard and you make a token of it. Electrify was kind of cool. Another Fan Bear. I also pulled this guy, Heart Piercer Manticore. He's 2 of any and 2 red for a 4/3. That says when he enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature, and when you do, Heart Piercer Manticore deals damage equal to that creature's power to target creature or player. So he's kind of cool to, like, you swing in with a bunch of your creatures. You're probably missing a little bit of damage just to kill him, and then you cast a Manticore, and then you fling a creature that you own onto your opponent's face, and you kind of end them there. It also has Embalm for 5 of any and a red, so you can exile this from your graveyard and make another copy, and then the copy will gain the ability as well, which is really nice. But you know, the copy, since it is a token, if it dies, it just disappears, doesn't go anywhere, so you can't embalm the token. Evolving Wilds, I really like the artwork for this new version of Evolving Wilds. Another token. These are the tokens you get when you embalm a creature. Sandworm Convergence, Anointed Processions. I really like this. This is the white version for Parallel Lives. Parallel Lives says it's 3 of any and a green for an enchantment that says if an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, he creates twice as many of those tokens instead, and this is the white version of it. Parallel Lives is from the original Innistrad set, so it's no longer standard, and Anointed Processions is in Amonkhet, so this one is standard. And it makes sense, it goes with the theme, since a lot of the embalmed creatures are white, some of them may be green, so I guess you can play them in other colors. And then because it is one single white, you can splash this into any color. I also pulled this guy, Pathmaker Initiate, which is nice. I pulled this Cryptic Serpent, it looks really pretty. I was able to pick up another Blood Rage Brawler, and some of these guys, the Cartouche of Ambitions, Violent Impact, Unburdened. There you go, see, this is the embalm token for the cat. Some more of these guys. And then I think I also pulled the Blue God, which is nice. When you cast him for 2 of any, I think, and a blue, he draws you a card, and if you have 7 or more cards in your hand, he becomes a creature. So it's kind of cool, but I got rid of him. And yeah, well, that was my pre-release kit, guys, and some of the stuff I pulled and some of the extra stuff I picked up. So you guys tell me, how do you guys do on your pre-release? Did you guys do well? Did you guys top? Did you guys pull anything cool? Well, guys, this is Jack. Let me know what you guys thought and what you guys did, and I'll see you guys next time.